Stand by.
We're doing the scene of Mice and Men, me and Tyrick, and our scene is basically about Lenny being startled by Curly's wife, who is threatening to run away, and she starts to flirt with me a little bit, and since I'm a little bit slow, I don't know what flirting is, so she takes that as me being flirtatious, and in the end, it's a bad result. So that's it.
What you doing here?
Oh, just sitting here.
You see what I have done?
Yeah, you bring a valise.
You won't tell, will you?
I ain't gonna have nothing to do with you. George says I ain't.
You won't tell about the suitcase. I ain't going to stay here no more. Tonight, I'm getting out. Come here and get my stuff and get out. I ain't going to be run over no more. I'm going to go in the picture. What you got there?
Nothing. I ain't gonna have nothing to do with you. George says I ain't.
Listen, them guys out there got a horse tournament out there, and it's only 4 o'clock. Them guys ain't going to lead the tournament. They got money back. You don't need to be scared to talk to me.
I ain't supposed to.
What you got under there?
Just a pup. Just a little old pup.
Why he's dead?
Well, he make like he was gonna bite me, and I make like I was gonna slap him, and then he was dead.
Don't worry, none. He's just mud. The whole country is full of mud.
It ain't that so much. George gonna be mad. Maybe he won't let me do what he say I could do.
Don't worry. Those guys got money bet on that horse tournament. They ain't gonna leave it, and tomorrow I'll be going. I ain't gonna let them run me over.
We're gonna have a little place in raspberry bushes.
I ain't meant to live like this. I came from Selene. Well, a show came through, and I talked to a guy that was in it. He said I could go with that show. My old lady wouldn't let me because I was only 15. I wouldn't be no place like this if I'd have went with them.
You're gonna take it and fill a sack up?
Near a time, I met a guy, and he was in the picture. Went down to the Riverside place with him. He said he was going to put me in the picture, say I was a natural. Soon he got back to Hollywood, he was going to write me about it. I never got the letter. I think my old lady stole it. Well, I wasn't going to stay no place where they steal letters, so I married Curly. Met him out the Riverside place, too.
I hope George not gonna be mad about this pup.
I ain't told this to nobody before. Maybe I ought to. I don't like Curly. He ain't a nice fella. I might have stayed with him, but last night him and his old man lit into me. I don't have to stay here. Don't tell nobody till I get clear away. I'll go in the night and thumb a ride to Hollywood.
We're gonna get out of here pretty soon. This ain't no nice place.
I gotta get into the movies and have nice clothes, all those nice clothes like they wear. And I'll sit in them I sit in them big hotels, and then they take pictures of me. When you have their openings, I go to their talk radios, and it won't cost me nothing because I'm in the picture. All them nice clothes like I wear. Because this guy says I'm a natural.
We're gonna go away, far away.
Of course, when I run away, my mom won't talk to me no more. She think I ain't decent. That's what she says. Well, we really ain't decent. No matter how much my old lady tries to hide it, my old man was a drunk. They put him away. There, now I told her.
George and me was at Sacramento Fair, and one time I fell in the river, and George pulled me out, and he saved me. And then we went to the fair. Then we got all kinds of stuff there. We saw long-haired rabbits.
My old man was a sign painter. When he worked, he used to get drunk and print and paint crazy pictures and waste paint. One night when I was a little kid, him and my old lady had an awful fight. They was always fighting. In the middle of the night, he came into my room and he said, "I can't stand this no more. Let you and me go away." I guess he was drunk. I remember the night walking down the road. The trees was dark. I was pretty sleepy. He picked me up and carried me on his back, and he said, "We're gonna live together. We're gonna live together because you're my little girl and not a stranger. No arguing, no fighting, because you're my little girl." He says, "Well, you bake little cakes for me. I paint pretty pictures all over the wall." In the morning, they caught us and they put him away. I wish we had went.
Maybe if I took care of Pup and throw him away, George never know.
They locked him up for a drunk, and a while later he died.
And maybe I could tend to the rabbits.
Don't you think nothing of rabbits?
We're going to have a house and a garden and a place for alfalfa, and I take out the sack and full of alfalfa, and then I take it to the rabbits.
What makes you so nuts about rabbits?
I like to pet nice things. Once at a fair, I seen some of them long-haired rabbits, and it was nice. And I even pet mice, but only when I couldn't find nothing else.
I think you're nuts.
No, I ain't. George says I ain't. I like to pet nice things with my fingers, soft things.
Well, who don't? Everyone likes that. I like to feel silk and velvet. You like to feel velvet?
You bet. And I have some too. A lady gave me some. And that lady was my Aunt Clara. She gave me about this big a piece. I wish I had that right now. I lost it. I ain't seen it for a long time.
You're nuts. But you're kind of a nice fella. Just like a big baby. A person can see kind of what you mean. When I'm doing my hair sometimes, I just sit there and stroke it because it's so soft. Some people got kind of coarse hair. You take curly hair, it's just like wire. But mine is soft and fine. Here, feel it, right here. You feel there? You see how soft it is?
That's nice.
Don't mess it up.
Don't.
Look out, you're messing it up.
No.
Look up.
No.
You're messing it up.
No.
Stop. Let it go.
Don't do that. George is going to be angry. Don't. Don't scream. No. No screaming. George. No. No. George's going to be so angry. Don't. Wake up. Wake up. Don't. No. The bushes. George said if anything go wrong, go to the bushes. See?
Well, our play we're doing is called A Rising in the Sun, or Raising in the Sun, and it's about this like poor family, and they got a check from their father dying, and they're trying to move into this white neighborhood, but the guy, the head of the committee, wouldn't let them move in because they think that their Negro family is going to bring problems to their little town, and they just want to say all whites, and they don't want nothing to change. So that's our.
How do you do? What can we do for you, Mr. Linda? Well, I am the representative of the Clybourne Park Improvement Association. Why don't you put things on the floor? Oh, yes, thank you. As I was saying, I'm from the Clybourne Park Improvement Association, and we have had it brought to our attention at the last meeting that you people, or at least your mother, has bought a piece of residential property at 406 Clybourne Street.
That's right. Care for something to drink? Ruth, give Mr. Linda a beer.
Oh, no, really. I mean, thank you very much, but no thank you.
Want some coffee?
Thank you, nothing at all. Well, I don't know how much you folks know about our organization. It is one of these community organizations set up to look after, like block upkeeping and special projects. And we also have what we call our New Neighbors Orientation Committee.
Yes, and what do they do?
Well, it's what you might call a sort of welcoming committee, I guess. I mean, I'm the chairman of the committee. Go around and see the new people who move into the neighborhood and sort of give them the lowdown on the way we do things out in Clybourne Park.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have the category of what the association calls special community problems.
Yes, and what are some of those?
Girl, let the man talk.
Thank you. I would sort of like to explain this thing in my own way. I mean, I want to explain to you in a certain way.
Go ahead.
Yes, well, I'm going to try to get right to the point. I'm sure we'll all appreciate that in the long run.
Yes.
Be still now.
Well,
Would you like another chair? You don't look comfortable.
no, thank you. Very much, please. Well, to get right to the point, I'm sure you people must be aware of some of the incidents which have happened in various parts of the city when colored people have moved into certain areas. Well, because we have what I think is going to be a unique type of organization in American community life, not only do we deplore that kind of thing, but we are trying to do something about it. We feel that most of the trouble in this world, when you come right down to it, is most of the trouble exists because people just don't sit down and talk to each other.
You can say that again.
That's why we don't try hard enough in the world to understand the other fellow's problem, the other guy's point of view.
Now that's right.
Yes, that's the way we feel out in Clybourne Park. And that's why I was elected to come here this afternoon and talk to you. Friendly like, the way people should talk to each other and see if we couldn't find some way to work things out. As I say, the whole business is a matter of caring about the other fellow. Anybody can see that you're a nice family of folks, hardworking and honest, I'm sure. Today, everybody knows what it means to be on the outside of something. And of course, there's always somebody who is out to take advantage of people who just don't always understand.
What do you mean?
Well, you see, our community is made up of people who've worked hard as the dickens for years to build up that little community. They're not rich and fancy people, just hardworking, honest people who don't really have much but those little homes and dreams of the kind of community they want to raise their children in. Now, I don't say we are perfect and there is a lot wrong in some of the things they want, but you've got to admit that a man, right or wrong, has the right to want to have the neighborhood he lives in a certain way. And at the moment, the overwhelming majority of our people out there feel that people get along better, take more of a common interest in the life of the community when they share a common background. I want you to believe me when I tell you that race prejudice simply doesn't enter into it. It is a matter of the people of Clybourne Park believing, rightly or wrongly, as I say, that for the happiness of all concerned, that our Negro families are happier when they live in their own communities.
This, friends, is our welcoming committee?
Is this what you came marching all the way over here to tell us?
Well, now, we've been having a fine conversation. I hope you'll hear me all the way through.
Go ahead, man.
You see, in the face of all things I have said, we are prepared to offer you a very generous offer.
30 pieces and not a coin less.
Yeah.
Our association is prepared through the collective effort of our people to buy the house from you at a financial gain to your family.
Lord have mercy. This is living God.
All right, you're through.
Well, I want to give you the exact terms of the financial arrangement.
We don't want to hear no exact terms and no arrangement. I want to know if you got any more to tell us about getting together.
Well, I don't suppose that you feel...
Never mind how I feel. You got any more to say about how people ought to sit down and talk to each other and get out? Get out of my house, man.
Well, I don't understand why you people are reacting this way. What do you think you are going to gain by moving into a neighborhood where you just aren't wanted? And where some elements, well, people can get awfully worked up when they feel that their whole way of life and everything that's ever worked for is threatened.
Get out.
Well, I'm sorry it went like this.
Get out.
You just can't force people to change their hearts, son.
Well, this is all the packing I got done since I left out this morning. I pray to God that my children will have the energy to do it. What time the movement do?
4 o'clock. You had to call her mama.
Sure enough. Who?
The welcoming committee.
Who?
The welcoming committee. They said they're sure going to be glad to see you when you get there.
Yeah, they said they can hardly wait to see your face.
What's the matter with you all?
Ain't nothing the matter with us. We just telling you about the gentleman who came to see you this afternoon from Claiborne Park, Improvement Associate.
Well, what do you want?
He said that he can hardly wait. He said the only thing they don't have that they just dying to hear out there is a fine family of colored people. Ain't that right?
Yeah, he left his card in the case.
Father, give us strength. Did he threaten us?
Oh, mama. They don't do it like that anymore. He talked brotherhood. He said everybody ought to learn how to sit down and hate each other with good Christian fellowship.
Lord, protect us. See.
Something ugly has happened here.
No, but
Yeah, no buildings. Okay, stand by.
stand by.
Hi, my name is John Manano, and this is Dennis. What we're going to be doing is a scene from Beckett, or The Honor of God, by John Aloy. This is the play between King Henry II of England and his advisor, who was also the Archbishop,
Thomas Beckett.
and his friend, which was his very dear and close friend as a child. And now that they're older, they have issues which they have to go over. Well, if we have nothing more to say to each other, we might as well go and get warm.
We have everything to say to each other, my prince. The opportunity may not occur again.
Make haste then, or there would be 2 frozen statues on this plain, making their peace in a frozen eternity. I am your king, Beckett, and so long as we are on this earth, you owe me the first move. I'm prepared to forget a lot of things, but not the fact that I am king. You yourself taught me that.
Never forget it, my prince. Even against God, you have a different task to do. You have to steer the ship.
And you? What do you have to do?
Resist you with all my might when you steer against it.
Do you expect the wind to be behind me, Beckett? No such luck. That's fairy tale navigation. God on the king's side? That's never happened yet. Yes, once at a time in the Crusades, when all the Christendom shouted, "It's God's will." Yet, even then, you know as well as I do what private greeds a crusade covers up. In 9 cases out of 10, The rest of the time, it's head-on wind, and there must be somebody to keep the watch.
And somebody to cope with the absurd wind. And with God. The tasks have been shared with, once and for all. The pity of it is that it should have been between us two, who were friends, my prince.
The King of France, I still don't know what he hopes to gain by it. I still don't know. He preached to me for 3 whole days to make my peace with you. What good would it do to provoke me beyond endurance?
None.
You know that I am king and that I must act like a king. What do you expect of me? Are you hoping I'll weaken?
No, that would prostrate.
Do you hope to conquer me by force then?
You are the strong one.
Win me round?
No, it is not to win you round. I have only to say no to you.
But you must be logical, Beckett.
No, that isn't necessary, my liege. We must only do absurdly what we have been given to do, right to the end.
Yet I know you well enough, God knows. 10 years we spent together, little Saxon. At the hunt, at the whorehouse, at war, carousing all night long, the two of us. In the same girls' beds, sometimes. And at the council chamber too. Absurdly, that word isn't like you.
Perhaps I am no longer like myself.
Have you been touched by grace?
Not by the one you think. I'm not worthy of it.
Do you feel the Saxon coming out, despite Papa's good collaborator's sentiments?
No, not that either.
What then?
I felt for the first time that I was being entrusted with something, that's all. There in that empty cathedral, somewhere in France, that day that you gave me the burden, I was a man without honor. And suddenly I found it. One I never could have imagined be mine. The honor of God. A frail, incomprehensible honor, vulnerable as a boy king fleeing from danger.
Suppose we talk to each other a little more precisely, Beckett, with words I understand. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. I'm cold, and the others are waiting for us on the fringes of this plain.
I am being precise.
I'm an idiot, then. Talk to me like an idiot. That's an order. Will you lift the excommunication which you pronounced on William of Ansford and the other of my liegemen?
No, sire. Because that is the only weapon I have. Because that is the only weapon I have to defend this child, who was given naked into my care.
Will you agree to the 12 proposals which my bishops have accepted in your absence at Northampton, and notably to forego the much abused protection of the Saxon clerics, who get themselves tonsured to escape land bondage?
No, sire. My role is to defend my sheep, and they are my sheep. Nor will I concede that the bishops should forego the right to appoint priests in their own dioceses. Nor that churchmen should resist. Nor that churchmen should be subject to any but the church's jurisdiction. These are my duties as pastor, which is not for me to relinquish. But I shall agree to the 9 other articles of peace. And because I know that you must remain king in all, save the honor of God.
Very well. I will help you defend your God, since that is your new vocation, in memory of the companion you once were to me. In all, save the honor of the realm, you may come back to England, Thomas.
Thank you, my prince. I meant to go back and give myself up to your power. For on this earth, you are my king. And all that concerns this earth, I owe you obedience.
Well, let's go back now. We're finished. I'm cold.
I'm cold too now.
You never loved me, did you, Beckett?
And so far that I was capable of love. My prince, I did.
Did you start to love God? You mule! Can't you ever answer a simple question?
I started to love the honor of God.
Come back to England. I give you my royal word of peace. May you find yours, and may you not discover you were wrong about yourself. This is the last time I shall come begging to you. I should have never seen you again. It hurts too much.
My prince.
No! No pity. It's dirty. Stand away from me. Go back to England. It's too cold out here.
Farewell, my prince. Will you give me the kiss of peace?
No! I can't come to bed near you. I can't bear to look at you. Later, when it doesn't hurt anymore.
I shall set sail tomorrow. Farewell, my prince. I know I shall never see you again.
How dare you say that to me after I gave you my royal word of peace? Do you think I'm a traitor? Thomas!
This one-act play takes place in a bedroom on East St. Louis brothel. Bertha, a prostitute, is very sick and has been laying in bed for 2 weeks. Goldie, the madame, needs a room for business. She wants Bertha to leave and tells her to go back home or to a hospital. Well, Bertha, what are you going to do?
Oh no.
You've got to decide, Bertha.
I can't decide nothing.
That's no answer.
What's the only answer I know? I just want to lay here and think things over.
You've been laying here thinking or something for the past 2 weeks. You got to come to a decision. The girls need this room.
Let them have it.
They can't with you laying here.
Oh God.
Pull yourself together now, Bertha.
What's the matter with me?
You're sick.
I got a sick headache. Who slipped me that Mickey Finn last night?
Nobody ain't slipped you no Mickey Finn. You've been laying here 2 weeks solid, talking out of your head. Now the sensible thing for you to do, Bertha, is to go back home. Or...
Go back nowhere. I'm staying right here till I get on my feet.
The valley's no place for a girl in your condition. Besides, we need this room.
Leave me be, Goldie. I want to get in some rest before I start working.
Bertha, you've got to decide.
What is it I gotta decide?
Where you going from here?
Nowhere. Leave me be, Goldie. I've got to get in my rest.
If I leave you be, you just be laying here doing nothing from now to the crack of doom. Listen here. If you don't make up your mind right away, I'm going to call the ambulance squad to come and get you. So you better decide right this minute.
Can't decide nothing. I'm too tired. Worn out.
All right. I'll take this here nickel. And I'm going to go call the ambulance squad.
Go ahead. I don't care what happens to me now.
Look, why don't you write another letter, Bertha, to that man who sells hardware or something in Memphis?
Charlie? You leave his name off your dirty tongue.
That's a fine way for you to be talking. Me keeping you here just out of kindness. And you bringing in no red, white, or blue scent for the last 2 weeks. Where do you...
Charlie's a real sweet... Charlie's a...
What if he is? All the better reason for you to write him to see if he can get you out this tight hair spot here, Bertha.
I'll never ask him for another dime. Get that? He's forgotten all about me, my name, and everything else. Somebody's cut me up with a knife while I've been sleeping.
Pull yourself together, Bertha. If this man's got money, Maybe he'll send you some and get you back on your feet.
Sure, he's got money. He owns a hardware store. I reckon I ought to know. I used to work there. He used to say to me, "Girlie, anytime you need something, just let Charlie know." We had some good times in that back room.
I bet he ain't forgotten me.
He's found out about all the things I've done since I quit him and come to St. Louis.
No, he ain't, Bertha. I bet he don't know a thing.
It's you that's been writing things. All that dirt you can think of about me. Your filthy tongue's been clacking like...
Bertha! I've been a good friend to you, Bertha.
Anyhow, he's married now.
Just write him a little note on a postcard. And tell him you had some tough breaks. Remind him of how he said he would help you if you needed it.
Leave me alone a while, Goldie. I've got an awful feeling inside of me now.
You need to see a doctor?
No!
A priest?
No!
What religion are you, Bertha?
None.
Thought you said you was Catholic once.
Maybe I did. What of it?
If you could remember, maybe we could get some sisters or something to come and give you a room like they did for Rose Kramer. For you to rest in and get your strength back.
I don't need no sisters to give me nothing. Just leave me be here till I get through rest.
Bertha. Bertha, you're bad. You're bad sick.
Bad?
Yes, Bertha. I don't want to scare you, but
You mean I'm dying?
I didn't say that.
No, but you meant it.
We've got to provide for the future, Bertha. We can't just let things slide.
If I'm dying, I want to write to Charlie. I want to tell him some things.
If you mean a confession, honey, I think a priest would be
No,
right.
no priest. I want Charlie.
Father Callahan.
No,
He would.
no priest.
Look,
I want Charlie.
Charlie's in Memphis, and he's running his hardware business.
Yeah, on Central Avenue. The address is 563.
I'll write him. I'll write him and tell him what condition you're in, huh, Bertha?
No. Just tell him I said hello.
Hello. Hello. I got to say more than that, Bertha.
That's all I want you to say.
That wouldn't make sense. You know that?